What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the Aimpoint 3XMag-1 Magnifier, as you see right here on this Unity mount. I will also be going over the Unity FAST mount, which is right here. Unity FAST mount for the magnifier. I'll get a little into the Aimpoint, but not a whole lot. I'm focusing on the Aimpoint magnifier. So first I will open up the box, show you what's in the box. This is after I mounted the magnifier, obviously, so I'll pull that off in a second. But here's the magnifier, what it came in, just standard manual for it. Open this up. It came with a scope ring that came around the part where you mount it to the magnifier mount. So that was the little rubber scope ring. You don't have to cut this off. You can pull this off. So if you want to save that, just pull it off. And here is your Allen wrench to center your magnifier on the red dot. So that's all for that. And here's the Unity FAST Aimpoint magnifier mount. That's it. There's nothing in there. So that's what that is. Nothing really to it. Now I'm going to explain why I chose this really quickly, if I can. So why did I go with the Aimpoint magnifier in general? I went for it because the Aimpoint magnifier was made and is optimized for the Aimpoint T2 or other Aimpoint red dots, the Comp M5, the H2, whatever you might have. It's optimized for those, so I wanted to get an Aimpoint magnifier. Now, why did I go with the 3XMag-1 or 3XMag-1, the professional, over the Dash C or the commercial version or whatever? The main reason that I came to figure out was I wanted the extra length. And if you can see in this video, I have my red dot mounted as far forward on the upper receiver I can get it without actually getting it on the pick rail of the handguard. And I don't want to push this more forward because this handguard can actually move, so your zero can be off. Now, why do I want it as far forward as possible? There's a few reasons for that. The main one is it's easier to try and hold that there. It's easier to pick up the red dot and acquire your target, and it also gives a better field of view when this thing isn't directly into your eye all the time. You're able to, when something's right close in front of your face, it blocks more of your view. So having it all the way forward up front is a lot better, in my opinion. And I'll talk about it real quick. This is super lightweight. The battery life is tremendous for how much it is. They say 50,000 hours, but if you're on higher settings, you might be down to 40, maybe 30,000. Either way, it's still 3-4 years on a 2032 battery, which is plenty fine. Why I went with the Unity mount, I wanted for both of these, I had to get this type of mount because it was on this higher riser, or because my T2 was on this higher riser. So I got this. I wanted a heads-up shooting position, and it is you're not so scrunched down. Your neck's not scrunched. You're not hunched over and leaning into the rifle and stuff. So you can just bring it up and your head's straight. And when you're more comfortable and your neck isn't scrunched and stuff, it's easier to work better or perform better, in my opinion. So that's a couple of the reasons I went with that. And what is amazing about this Unity the magnifier mount is it comes directly up and down. So instead of coming off to the side and blocking vision over here, like they would flip over, it would kind of block your vision a bit. When it tucks down, it's in line with the rifle. It's out of the way. I can still see my red dot just fine. I'll give you a view of that actually real quick, if I can. So there's my red dot. I can still see plenty fine with the magnifier there. Let's see if I roll this up. That might be kind of, there she is. So it's still plenty fine. There's a lot more scope shadow than it is when I'm actually looking down it, but it just collapses right in front of the optic. And let's say, oh, I can't use my iron sights then. Well, with this mount, there's an iron sight in this Unity mount for my T2. So I'm still able to have backup iron sights, and while being able to have this pushed back all the way. So that's really nice. I think it works well. But back to why I chose the length, is because like I said, I wanted this forward for the reasons I stated, but with this length, I can keep that forward and still have this back, and I don't have to smash my face all the way. I don't have to nose to the charging handle. I don't have to smash my face to the charging handle. This thing's still back pretty far. Works great. I don't have to push my face all the way forward to get a sight picture. So that's really nice. But like I said, comes up and down. I can still use irons. I can take it off if I need. And yeah, it works well. This has a diopter change, or a focusing, whatever you want to call it, of -3, -3. The commercial has -2, -2. I haven't played around with the commercial enough to know if the extra +1, -1 actually matters, but that is, I guess you'd have to play around that with yourself, but that's a upgraded feature. I got this off Euro Optic, and now these are really expensive. These go for $937. The commercials are only like $300, I think they were $3 something. Maybe I'm wrong. They were a lot less. I don't have the numbers on me, but on Euro Optic, I was able to get it for about $750. So like I said, on my other video for the Razer 4000 HD rangefinder, I got $100 off that. This was almost $200 off. So they really do have some good deals on there. But as you can see, it sits a little close to my charging handle. I can still manipulate the charging handle just fine. If I'm not using it for a while, I can take it off with the QD attachment. And it also has these screws under here. So if you didn't want to mount this, if you wanted to use a different mount, you could mount the screws to under there. So that's fine. But that's mainly why I wanted to get the Aimpoint, because I'm already using Aimpoint. Other EOTech, the EOTech magnifiers work great too, but it's not giving me this range that I really want. So I'm not smashing my face. This is because in my opinion, I don't want to change my optic. Like, I don't want to push my red dot back so it's better for my magnifier when I'm going to be using the red dot the most of the time. I want to prioritize my primary rather than prioritizing my secondary, if that makes sense. So those were a few reasons, but it works just fine. I'll go ahead and take this off, and I'll show you that. Get this out of the way. So it's a quick detach right here. So there is a little button right there. So this isn't going to pull up on its own. You have to push that. Let's see. You have to push it down and then pull it off, and it just kind of activates within that Picatinny rail, clamps down on it. It's not going to move. I push down and then I can pull off just fine. So it actuates up and down. There's your that would be your elevation, I believe, and then my windage is here. And this is another really good thing about it. They're recessed in, so, and these are really easy to move. Like, there's not any clicking, which is kind of annoying, but I guess you're not really zeroing it, so maybe they didn't feel the need to click. But on the EOTechs that I saw, they're like flush with the mount, so they can get bumped and turn really easily. So your centering can be moved, and just if they got bumped or twisted from rubbing on your clothes or whatever. So having those recessed is a really nice safety feature. So your centering of your magnifier isn't moving. And notice I mounted it all the way to the rear. I've seen people mount it closer to the front to kind of get that extra little, whatever, 1/8 inch or whatever you're trying to gain there. Aimpoint, in their picture, they had it mounted all the way back, I'm guessing for weight distribution, because they want it back all the way so it's more sturdy, and it's not holding on the edge of the rim of this magnifier. So I'm guessing that's why they made it that way. But right here, I'm not going to adjust it, but that's what you turn for your diopter. This is a really nice setup. Why I wanted a magnifier, unless you have like amazing vision, seeing out really past, like, I mean, you can see out past 100 yards, but when you're trying to identify a target, or if you're trying to identify what a target has, does he have a gun, what movement is he making, this and that, anything really past 100, 150, 200 yards is going to be hard to see. So having a magnifier with that extra 3x is really important for taking longer, more precise shots, being able to identify targets, identify what's going on. So having this, I had just the red dot for a while, but after realizing target identification and taking precise shots is really important. So I went with the 3x. Why I didn't go with the 6x? That's only a 11.5 inch barrel, and I'm not going to be getting out to 6x with that 11.5 inch. I mean, it can shoot 300 all day long, but I'm not really relying on it for much more than that. I don't intend to shoot that far after 300. So 3x was plenty fine, but like I said, Aimpoint's picture had it mounted all the way back, so that's what I did. But like I said, this thing's long. It is a bit heavier. I don't notice the difference very much. It is a little heavier, but it's longer, and it's able to get me all the way past here. And you know, some people will say, well, you need to mount this as close to the optic as possible. But I'm actually able to get it. I'm actually able to get it, I believe it was there, on the third space back. So I got like 1 space, 2, and 3 space. I'm actually able to get it 3 spaces back and see no benefit and have no, you know, scope shadow or losing any type of vision through the scope. So that helps me get it back a lot farther, and that really helps when trying to get an eye picture. So I think this is a really solid option. The commercial is fine. I know a lot of people who use the commercial, so that's plenty fine. I haven't had much experience with the EOTechs. I like this Aimpoint a little better just because the battery life is so good. The battery life's a big thing for me. So, but being able to get that, I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, the spacing is just amazing with being able to push it back that far, having it. I mean, if you can see, it's even past the charging handle. So I'm really getting the max out of this, but it's a really nice setup. But this Unity fast mount was about $259. Couldn't get that any cheaper. Aimpoint Mag-X, beautiful, great glass clarity. Amazing setup. Aimpoint makes really good stuff and really durable stuff too. So you can't go wrong with Aimpoint. And if you want EOTech, you can't go wrong with them either. The only thing is you may have to move your optic back because they're kind of short. So you might have to move that optic back a couple rungs, which I'm not a fan of. But that's all I can think of for right now on the overview. Not going to go into the T2 very much. It's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, it's really sweet. If you have any questions or just want to comment, please comment, and I'll do my best to answer back to you. If you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to be putting out a lot more content on just things I'm buying, setup, builds, scopes, pretty much anything worth making content on. I'll put it out there, give my opinion, so you guys can look for some type of answer, because I barely found any information on this magnifier. Like, it's new for sure, but oh, I'm sorry, I barely found any information on this 3X Mag, and it's really tough trying to make a good decision when you're not finding adequate information or input. Reddit has come in clutch a lot recently for good opinions. So, some stuff is iffy on there, but there's been a lot of good opinions and help I found from them, and just looking things up on YouTube. But I'm wanting to put out informational in my experience, in my opinion. I'm not like super experienced or tons of military experience or anything like that. But I'm just putting this out to try and help others and give good information where this could hopefully help you make a better decision rather than buying something and you're like, oh, I wish I would have got that. So this is mainly for that, and I hope you enjoyed it. So have a good rest of your day. Thank you.